Deploying Messaging Solutions with Microsoft Exchange Server 2007. This Nugget series covers the 70-238 exam, and it's with J. Peter Bruzzese. So your first question might be, who is J. Peter Bruzzese? Well, I'm a Microsoft engineer and a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm also an MCIT professional, MCITP, for messaging. I'm a technical writer for Edmund Magazine, Windows IT Pro, and InfoWorld. I'm also a technical speaker for TechMentor, IT360 out of Canada, and TechEd. And I speak about Vista, Exchange 2007, as well as other servers and services. The 70-238 exam is a pretty difficult exam to master. The skills measured by the exam include the following: planning upgrades and migrations, planning high availability implementation, planning the Exchange topology deployment, planning messaging security and compliance implementation, and planning for messaging environment maintenance. And so what I've done here in this introduction is map each of those skill sets to the nuggets that cover that particular skill set. So we start off with the first nugget, going into a deep explanation on how to prepare for this exam. So the first one is 70-238 requirements and skills, and then we begin the process of dissecting the skill set under planning upgrades and migrations. So nugget number 2 is planning Exchange 2007 upgrade implementation. This begins the explanation of upgrade terminology like transitions, coexistence, and migration. And then we have nuggets 3 and 4, transitioning coexistence and finalizing your transition. This is where we take a look at an Exchange 2003 server organization, and we coexist with an Exchange 2007 server for a while, and then we slowly move mailboxes and public folders over to the 2007 world, then we phase out the 2003 systems altogether. So nuggets 2, 3, and 4 will really walk you through the upgrade process, the transitioning and coexistence process of moving from Exchange 2003 over to Exchange 2007. In the fifth nugget, migrating to Exchange 2007, we discuss what it takes to migrate to Exchange 2007 from Exchange 5.5, from Lotus Domino, and from Novell GroupWise. The next skill set is planning high availability implementation. Here in Nugget 6, Hosted Exchange Solutions, we discuss various methods of hosting Exchange with outside companies. The difficulty of deploying an in-house Exchange solution is causing many to seek assistance on the outside. With greater levels of high availability being offered, as well as greater levels of bandwidth, the idea of using dedicated email, dedicated servers, and dedicated Exchange is being considered more than ever before. To plan your Exchange deployment properly, you need to know when one of these solutions will fit better than an in-house offer. And we'll also discuss some of the services that Microsoft offers for Exchange, like hosted filtering, hosted archive, hosted continuity, and hosted encryption. Nugget 7, Planning for High Availability Implementation, discusses the flavors of high availability that you can take advantage of with Exchange 2007. And so we discuss local continuous replication, cluster continuous replication, and single copy clusters. Nuggets 8 and 9, Planning a Backup Recovery Solution, Parts 1 and 2, these discuss the different backup recovery solutions at your disposal, including the use of recovery storage groups and dial tone restores. The next skill set is planning the Exchange topology deployment. Here in Nugget 10, Storage Group Deployment, we discuss the overall architecture of Exchange 2007 storage, and how you can, or rather should, configure your storage groups and databases. In Nugget 11, Server Role Deployment, we talk about the different server roles: mailbox servers, hub transport servers, client access servers, unified messaging servers, and edge transport servers, and some of the deployment considerations you need to be mindful of. Nugget 12, Managed Content Settings and Active Sync Policies, discusses two specific aspects of your deployment: that of Managed Content Settings, which is focused on repeatedly in the exams, and Active Sync Policies for your mobile connections. Nugget 13, Additional Servers to Deploy with Exchange 2007, explains the needs you might have for an Internet Security and Acceleration Server, ISA 2006, or a Microsoft Operations Manager Server, MOM 2005, or Rights Management Services, or Windows Server Update Services. So there are quite a number of additional servers that you can deploy with Exchange 2007. In Nugget 13, depending on what your scenario is, we'll discuss these servers and determine if they can be utilized in your environment. The next skill set is planning messaging security and compliance implementation. So we start off in Nugget 14 with planning anti-spam and antivirus implementation. And so we focus mainly on the Hub Transport and Edge Transport servers here. We show you how to enable your anti-spam features on your Hub Transport servers and how you can configure the 9 different built-in anti-spam features. Then we also discuss some of the different antivirus options that you have. In Nugget 15, Plan Transport Rule Implementation, we talk about the various uses of a transport rule and how this can be very helpful to you in your organization because you can establish the rule on your Hub Transport servers. And so as mail is in transit, rules can be applied to those mail messages. In Nugget 16, we talk about planning network security, which involves knowing the ports that need to be opened or closed on your firewalls, as well as some of the other security settings that you need to be aware of in your Exchange environment. And the final skill set for the 70-238 exam is planning for messaging environment maintenance. In Nugget 17, Exchange infrastructure improvements, we talk about the number of global catalog servers that you have deployed. We talk about utilizing your sites and site links, or even changing your site link costs if you need to in order to improve your Exchange infrastructure. Nugget 18, Plan for configuration changes, discusses some of the little things that tend to slip away from our notice when we're worried about configuring Exchange 2007. So for example, ensuring that we have Active Directory trusts where they need to be, that we have domain functional levels in place, making sure that we understand some of the concepts like web-ready document viewing. These are the things that we discuss in Nugget 18. In Nugget 19, Plan for patch and service pack implementation, we discuss some of the different ways you can ensure that your Exchange servers are up to date, that they are secure and have all of the latest hotfixes applied. And so we discuss using the Windows Server Update services for this, as well as looking at group policies to publish or assign service packs to our organization. And then finally, in Nugget number 20, we discuss planning for testing, monitoring, and reporting. And in this nugget, we discuss some of the Microsoft Operations Framework standards, and we get into a deep discussion of Microsoft Operations Management Server, MOM 2005, to help us in our Exchange environment to handle monitoring and reporting. So the 70-238 exam is an exam you really need to prepare for. By the end of these 20 nuggets in this series, you can be confident that you'll be prepared for this exam. So, let's get started.